كده المؤذن ان شاء الله في الفرنت المؤذن. مؤذن. Come on, man. Exactly. Nah, he beat all of you, mashallah. Assalamu alaikum. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله الله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره الكافرون. وبعد، وصلوات الله وسلاما على نبينا محمد وعلى آله الطاهرين الطيبين وعلى صحابته الغر الميامين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. اللهم اكتبنا منهم آمين. قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن المجيد: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. We begin with the praise of Allah Ta'ala. We ask and beseech Allah Azza wa Jal to send His peace and blessings upon His final messenger, Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, on his family, his companions, and all those who follow his way until the day of judgment. We ask Allah Ta'ala to make us amongst them. Alhamdulillah, my dear respected brothers and sisters, we thank Allah Ta'ala for allowing us to come together again on this day of Jum'ah under these circumstances. No less, Allah Ta'ala has allowed us to gather here on this blessed day, this blessed hour, this blessed time, and this blessed place to remember Him and to reflect upon His greatness, subhanahu wa ta'ala. As you know, we've been reflecting and taking from the book translated as Towards Understanding Islam, which is a collection by Maulana Mawdudi rahimahullah, the great 20th century scholar, thinker, and reformer of the subcontinent, who and who put forward as the purpose of this book, if you look and reflect upon it, to develop the Muslim who goes beyond just your regular state, not to change the understanding that Islam is not something we inherit as something from our lineage, but rather Islam is a commitment. It is a intentional commitment to submit ourselves to the will of Allah Ta'ala. Thus, the purpose of this book is to develop from the reader the idea of becoming the conscious Muslim, the Muslim who is aware of the purpose of Islam and the reality of the truth of Islam, and purposely and willfully puts themselves in submission to the will of Allah Ta'ala. We've been reflecting the last week last time we were together by Allah's grace, we reflected on how is it that we come to know truth? How is it that we come to know ultimate truth? How is it that we come to know that Islam is the truth? That is the reality at the end of the day. How is it that we know? How is it that we come to know that Islam is the truth? And we reflected on the reality that the human being, there are three ways that we come to know the truth of Islam, and they all culminate together. The first of which is that Allah Ta'ala created the human being ala al-fitrah. He created the human being upon the natural disposition or the natural position of recognizing truth when it comes to them. Recognizing the truth of Tawheed, of Allah Ta'ala, and recognizing truth of Risala, of the message when it comes to them. So Allah Ta'ala has created us upon this natural disposition, this fitrah. So there's a natural inclination within us to recognize the truth. However, as human beings, we're placed in circumstances, there's a process of cultivating that happens in the human being, such that the human being becomes a product of their environment, their families in particular. So we are placed on the al-fitrah, we're created on this natural disposition, but that natural disposition can become corrupted based on the environment and the circumstances and the education and the cultivation of the human being that occurs throughout childhood and throughout life. But that inclination is still there in some level. So that's the first way Allah Ta'ala has created us upon this natural disposition to recognize the truth. The second is that Allah Ta'ala has given us al-aql. He has given us the intellect. The intellect is a very important component of the human being. It's not the only component, but it is a very important component. It is what makes us unique as a creation. The fact that we have the ability to rationalize. This is what makes us unique in the animal kingdom. Allah Ta'ala, in all of creation for that matter, Allah Ta'ala has given us the ability to think, to recognize, to learn, to understand. And so the human being, and there's a number of discussions within the ulama, amongst the ulama of theology, of aqidah, as to what the role that rationalization, the role of the intellect has in recognizing truth. And there are a number of different discussions that are very beautiful, mashallah, and we take from all of them at some level of benefit. But the reality, though, at the end of the day, is that yes, the aql, the intellect, our ability to rationalize, it does have a role in recognizing truth. And so Allah Ta'ala calls ulil albab, al-mufakkirin, those who reflect and use their intellect to reflect on the creation. Allah calls to that very nature of the human being frequently in the Quran. Reflect on the creation. Reflect on the fact that we exist. Allah Ta'ala says that I will show you signs. سَنُرِيهِمْ فِي الْآفَاتِ وَفِي أَنفُسِهِمْ. And Allah Ta'ala will show them in the creation and in themselves ayat, signs, so that they may recognize أَنَّهُ هُوَ الْحَقِّ, that this is the truth. So Allah Ta'ala calls to the intellect of the human being, calls to the fikr of the human being. Reflect on the universe. Reflect on the miraculous nature of the universe and the miraculous nature of our very own existence. And we cannot come to the conclusion except we cannot help but come to the conclusion that Allah Ta'ala is one and only, who has no beginning, no end, who caused us to come into existence from nothing, subhanahu wa ta'ala. But also the third component or dimension with which Allah Ta'ala guides us to truth, and how we can come to know the truth of Islam, come to know the truth of prophethood, the truth of the message of Islam, is through prophethood. Allah Ta'ala did not leave us in this world to figure out the truth by ourselves. He could have done so, but by His grace and His mercy, He sent prophets and messengers, alayhim salam, in order to guide us to the truth, in order to appeal to that fitrah, in order to appeal to that aql. And with the fitrah and the aql of the pure, uncorrupted human being, you can come to know and recognize the truth of risala, of the message of the messengers, alayhim salam. We mentioned last time together that why is it Allah sent messengers? Why did He just send the message to everybody and anybody? Imam Maulana Mawdudi rahimahullah, he puts up a beautiful argument, and I think it has some vicissitude, it has some strength to it. That if you look at the human being, Allah Ta'ala did not create every human being the same. He gave every single human being, for the most part, the capability of survival, the capability of survival. But some human beings have some capabilities that are better than others, that are more than others. Some are stronger physically than others. Some are more athletic than others. Some are more intelligent than others. Some are more artistic and innovative than others. Some have more propensity and capabilities with mathematics, while others have more of a capability with philosophy and thought. So the human being is not created equal in this particular way. Allah Ta'ala gave that rizq of these different capabilities to different peoples for a number of reasons. Of the reasons why Allah Ta'ala has done so, distributed these capabilities in different manners, is to facilitate the mutual need, the mutual cohesion that human beings have. In order for us to cultivate civilization, we need to come together. Some of us will be military leaders and others will be political leaders. Some of us will be artists and innovators, and others will be mathematicians, and so on and so forth. So, but as a human community, together we grow and foster. Similarly, Allah Ta'ala has given amongst these human beings those who are even more special. So there are varying grades of uniqueness, but then there are some who change history. There are some innovators who change the course of history, and we're witnessing it now even. SubhanAllah, the genius of the variety of these tech industries and these industries of all the technology that we see. They're geniuses. They're changing the course of history. Similarly, Allah Ta'ala has given the Nabi, the Anbiya, and the Rusul, the messengers, alayhim salam, that special capability that is more unique and more special than any of these other capabilities. And that is the ability to recognize and understand the truth of the ghaib in particular. The truth of Allah Ta'ala, the truth of the unseen, and the truth of the hereafter. And so the Anbiya have been selected and chosen by Allah Ta'ala. And how do we recognize these Anbiya? How do we know them to be true? Right? Just like the poet, you recognize that this poet truly has it. This poet does not. This artist truly has it. This artist does not. Just like this innovator truly has it. This innovator does not have it. You recognize the special genius of these people based on their own work and based on their own selves. Their own body of work lays testimony that they are special, something special. Similarly, the Anbiya and the Rusul, their very own character, their very own behavior, and their very own message, the cohesion and the purity of their message and their character, and the trustworthiness and the honor and the special nature of their very own behavior and teachings, it lays itself as a testimony to their truth. And the risala that they come with, it appeals to that natural disposition, right? That fitrah, and it appeals to the true, uncorrupted, pure fitrah and aql and intellect. So the one who comes with a yearning for truth, who comes with a pure heart, or comes with the intention of a pure heart, and who comes with some remnants of fitrah left, they can recognize that truth as self-evident truth of a risala, of the message of the messengers. And so the messengers, they come, and their teachings and their pure character, it lays testimony to their very truth. But even beyond that, Allah Ta'ala, He suspends the natural order of the universe by giving miracles to the Anbiya and the messengers as an extra layer of evidence, hujjah, proof of their truthfulness. And we find that culminated in the Quran. The Quran is not only the hidayah, the guidance from Allah, it is also the hujjah, it is the miracle that Allah Ta'ala sent to humanity as an even special evidence of the truthfulness of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So how is it that we come to know the truth of Islam? We see the messenger, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the integrity, as-sadiq al-amin, the truthfulness and the honor and the noble character of him, alayhi salatu salam. We see the cohesion and the coherence and the purity of his message. And we see the purity and the special status of the Quran as an evidence for his truthfulness, alayhi salatu salam. All of these things combined, they culminate in the recognition, the recognition of the truthfulness of Islam, that you cannot hesitate but accept that truth. May Allah Ta'ala guide us. May Allah Ta'ala guide our families. May Allah guide our loved ones. May Allah bring nur and light to this entire universe, this entire world. May Allah make us agents of light for all this world. May Allah Ta'ala guide you. If you ask Allah to give it to you. الحمد لله ثم الحمد لله الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. الحمد لله غافر الذنوب جميعا إلا شرك به. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا مولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله وصلوات الله وسلام عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. وبعد، قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن المجيد: إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على نبينا محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على نبينا إبراهيم وعلى آل نبينا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. عباد الله، اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك سميع مجيب الدعوات. عباد الله يرحمكم الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون وأقيموا الصلاة. Inshallah, as we move towards the colder months, inshallah, as you know, it rained a little bit earlier today. I encourage all of you to bring your own prayer mat, but also to bring some type of plastic, maybe like a tarp or some sort, a small tarp of some sort, so that if it does become rainy and snowy and those type of things in the future, when you come out to pray the salah, as we will probably definitely continue outdoor Jum'ah through winter, if Allah wills, we will, to minimize the wetness and moisture on your prayer mat, try to get like a small tarp and then keep them together, inshallah ta'ala. Again, inshallah, if you weren't here last week, the way that we're going to clear up the parking lot afterwards, inshallah, is that on the east end or on the west end of the building, the side of the building, the first 3 rows will make their way out, and then everyone, inshallah, needs to turn right and summit, no matter what. They're going to make their way out. Then the ones who are on the north side of the building will make their way to the south side of the building in the empty space. Those who are on the south side of the building, you're going to empty out first, heading out to the back. Again, follow your volunteers. And then the far end, inshallah, you're going to come out towards the north side. Everyone, please turn right. قل هو الله احد الله ولد ولد كفوا احد الله اكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله اكبر الله اكبر الله اكبر الله اكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله Inshallah, if you could please just follow the directions of the volunteers in the yellow vest, please turn right onto Summit, inshallah ta'ala, so that traffic flow. As you know, we always need support. We have a number of projects still operational. A lot of our facilities teams, different projects need your assistance. Inshallah, we have the renovation going on as we speak on the main floor. Inshallah, we're going to create a community room, a community center. Inshallah, with the cafe and everything for our youth and for our families. So please, inshallah, contribute and provide with the grace, inshallah, so that you can support our efforts. How do you do so? You can cash for us. But also you can text, if you text this number, 630-491-1353. So 491-1353, 630, area code 491-1353. If you text center, CENTER, it'll give you a link to donate, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khairan. Please make your way out safely. Assalamu alaikum.